By the time of the raid on Polis Massa, the men of the 501st were starting to get a little sick of this so-called rebellion. In the past, we'd secretly enjoyed putting down a local insurrection or two. They kept the troops sharp and the Empire feared. But these rebels were different. They were organized, they were growing, and they were everywhere. The raid on Polis Massa was a perfect example of how things were starting to fall apart. We were supposed to go in, wipe out a small band of rebels, and recover some stolen Imperial plans on an encrypted holodisk. Before we knew it, we were nearly overrun by rebel forces, with the holodisk nowhere to be found.
All right, men, Lord Vader wants this raid done by the book. Our first objective is the comm center, just beyond this hangar. Nicely executed, troops. Now it's time to make our way to the base command building on the far side of the facility. If our intelligence is right, along the way we'll find a rebel holodisk containing some very important plans. It'll take time to realign the comm dish and transmit the data from the holodisk. You'll have to hold off the rebels until the transmission is complete. Do not let the comm facility fall into enemy hands.
Check your side. Take out the wall.
Squash this!
within the caverns of this complex. The rebels have a data bank that holds Imperial encryption codes that can be used to eavesdrop on our ship-to-ship communications. Make your way to the caverns and destroy the data bank.
Take out that room!
Stay dead! Squash the scum!
Take cover!
I've got good news and bad news. The good news is it's time to get off this dreary rock. The bad news is the rebels have taken over the hangars. You'll have to fight our way out.
On the side! They're all over!
Our raid is a success. And even though the holodisc didn't have the plans we're looking for, it will lead us to someone who does.
Even though the Polis Massa raid was only a partial success, we finally had a lead on the whereabouts of the Death Star plans, which suited the 501st just fine. With the information gathered on Polis Massa, Vader concluded that the stolen plans had been given to Princess Leia Organa of Alderaan. We weren't surprised. For all their talk of being a peaceful planet, Alderaan had been thumbing its nose at the Empire for years. After a brief and pointless battle, we boarded the ship, the Tantive 4, over Tatooine, began looking for the plans, and waited for Lord Vader's arrival.
Lord Vader has tracked the stolen Imperial plans to Ambassador Organa. Retrieve the plans and bring the ambassador to Lord Vader. Alive.
Watch it! Want those rebels dead! Good shot! Watch that turret! Save some for the rest of it! Watch your fire!
Get out. That turret.
Head to the tech room.
This is Lord Vader. Cut them off!
Vader, let's take him out.
We'll need to take out the security mainframes on the bridge before we can gain access to the rest of the ship.
Blowing stuff up never gets old. Your strength is nothing compared to the dark side.
Watch those blasters.
I'm not the enemy! They're trying to flank us!
We need the ship's access codes to gain entry to the escape pod areas. Make your way to the engine room and retrieve them from the security terminal on the second floor. Disable the turbine to clear our way to the terminal. Take the access code to the tech room terminal.
Stay dead!
Nice work. Now let's clear those rebels out of the escape pod bays and secure the rest of the ship. Princess Leia must be captured before she can escape.
I'm not the enemy!
Watch that lightsaber.
Get the princess! Bring us Your strength is nothing compared to the dark side.
The day is ours. Well done, gentlemen.
After Lord Vader took custody of Princess Leia, we all figured it was just a matter of time before she coughed up the plans. Many of us had been unwilling witnesses to Vader's powers of persuasion in the past. The thought of a pampered little princess resisting his terrible will was inconceivable. When the Death Star was destroyed, about half of the 501st Legion was still in the hangar getting into their ships. Of those who made it out, another third were caught in the explosion. I'd fought with some of those men for over 20 years. Afterwards, those of us that survived hooked up with a nearby Imperial fleet making a retaliatory strike on the Rebels' base on Yavin 4. It wasn't the best thought-out plan, but we were cut off from our leaders, tired, and operating on instinct. If not for our training, we probably would have never gotten past their orbital defenses.
All engineers, report to the hangar area.
Their heavy transports are trying to go around us. Destroy them before they can jump to hyperspace. Attempting to send their forces off to wreak havoc in other parts of our galaxy. Destroy them.
Fire on that bomber! Target that fighter and take him
down. Their frigates are harassing our fighters. Show them no mercy. Allowed to make the jump to hyperspace, they'll rip right through us. Clear their fighters out and be quick about it. We haven't any time to spare.
Take that bomber! On some reinforcement! This is not a drill.
Well done, pilots. We need to clear a path for our frigates to cover you. Use a TIE bomber to destroy their heavy turrets. Target that bomber.
Scramble reinforcements. Repeat.
Picked up a fighter. Fire on that bomber. Target that fighter. Take him down. Picked up a fighter. Trying to make the rest of us look bad. Help them fly. Now get after those engines, men. They can't jump if they haven't any engines. Getting my attack run. Time for some fancy flying. What's the reinforcement? Take that bomber down! Take out that bomber! Hostile behind you! Bomber sneaking up behind you! Trying to make the rest of us look bad. What's the reinforcement? Victory is ours, men. Dispatch the 501st to the planet's surface. Yavin 4 will fall before the day is done.
And so the battle over Yevon came to an end. I'm told we destroyed hundreds of rebel ships that day. Even if it had been thousands, it wouldn't have made up for the Death Star.